In high school, we played a game. Many years later, we got back together to play one more. Little did we know, this time, the game was real. Join me, Aram Vartian, on Start Playing Games for a brand new type of fantasy role-playing. In Die RPG, you play a group of real-world, deeply flawed adults who are transported into a fantasy realm via a predatory, sinister role-playing game. The game transforms your characters into paragons and rewards them with strange and frightening powers. In Die RPG, you are confronted with your truest desires and deepest fears. And only you can decide when the game is over. Check out all of my available Start Playing Games campaigns at aram.gay. My name is Aram, and my pronouns are he, him. I am the writer and producer of the Dungeons & Dragons podcast, God's Fall.
My name is Dylan, my pronouns are he, him. I'm a physicist from Canada.
Welcome to Kill Every Monster.
This week on Kill Every Monster, we're featuring the Pixie.
The Monster Manual describes pixies as standing barely a foot tall and resembling diminutive elves with gossamer wings like those of dragonflies or butterflies, bright as the clear dawn and luminous as the full moonrise. Curious as cats and shy as deer, pixies go where they please. They like to spy on other creatures and can barely contain their excitement around them. The urge to introduce themselves and strike up a friendship is almost overwhelming. Only a pixie's fear of being captured or attacked stays its hand. Those who wander through a pixie's glade might never see the creatures, yet hear the occasional giggle, gasp, or sigh. Pixies array themselves like princes and princesses of the Fae, wearing flowering gowns and doublets of silk that sparkle like moonlight on a pond. Some dress in acorns, leaves, bark, and the pelts of tiny woodland beasts. They take great pride in their regalia and beam with joy when they are complimented on their ensembles.
In this episode, we're joined by Matt Brown. Matt, whose pronouns are he, him, is a video producer, streamer, and professional dungeon master from Melbourne, Australia. You may know him from Split the Party and its self-titled actual play series, which has just wrapped its 4th season, the TTRPG-themed morning show, Good Morning RPG on Twitch, or their past chaotic shenanigans reacting to their cast member George on the latest Australian season of Beauty and the Geek. He's also a professional dungeon master who you can hire for your games or corporate events at dungeonmasterforhire.com.au. You can find his details at NoFunBrown on Twitter and his channel Split the Party on both YouTube and Twitch through the @split_the_party on Twitter. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Oh, thanks for having me. I am very excited for this one.
All right, Matt. What are pixies to you?
The prime method at which my cast members have tried to annoy me through extensive use of the polymorph spell. For a challenge rating quarter thing, something that is wildly unexpected to be.
No, they're little delicate creatures. They have a garbage
supposed
AC.
To be, yeah.
They have a garbage AC, relatively speaking. They have a single hit point, and then they have nothing but like 3rd and 4th level spells that just fuck with players' heads.
They remind me of the minion rule from 4th edition. Have you seen that? So everything has like, a decently high AC, but everything has 1 hit point. So they're really easy to take down if you can get to them.
Pixies are very social creatures. They would rarely be alone, so that would actually work. You're very rarely going to find a pixie. Usually it's going to be a group of pixies, a flock of pixies, if you will. There's a bunch of little tiny fey creatures. There's brownies, there's sprites. Sprites tend to be a little bit more physical, but are basically the same thing as a pixie. In fact, in this world where Pearl exists, it's the sprites who train the pixies to defend themselves. Like, come on, guys, you got to do something here. And they brought them some swords and crossbows. Like, at least try.
This is going to cause issues for us in the future, but I maintain that it's ridiculous to break up Pixie and Sprite into two completely separate creatures and not just have like, this is the magic little floaty fucker. This is the stabby little floaty fucker.
Yeah, they should be the same thing. They should just be the stabby and floaty version, especially when they give no indication that their cultures are different in any way whatsoever.
Like for every other like tacitly murderable species, like if you go to orcs, they have a punchy orc and then they have a wizard orc. There's a stabby lizard folk and a wizard lizard folk. And then for some reason, there are two specific species of fae, and one of them is magic and one of them has a little sword, and they never speak ever.
I do like to think with orcs, like there aren't differences. There's just like a guy who, when he runs in and punches you, shouts fireball, right? But I get what you're saying. Like there should just be different versions of the same people who can do different things. You shouldn't have one that's physically stronger and therefore a completely different species. D&D gets into a lot of trouble doing that kind of thing.
D&D hates ecology. It would make the monster manual so much more interesting if you
tied it to one world.
Not even necessarily if you tied it to one world, if you sort of implied an interrelatedness of creatures, like the pixies relate to the sprites, relate to hags. Like pixies don't like hags, but they're around them sometimes. They tried to do it a little in Volo and I liked it, and I feel like they should do it more.
I want a drawing of the court.
The pixie court or the fae court?
Any fucking court, how they relate to each other, what the rules are, how they exchange information, how they decide on, like, is it just like they just say it's a court?
Yeah, do a bunch of them gather in a forest clearing and then that's the court? Like, is it informal? Is it formal? Did Wild Beyond the Witchlight do any of this?
Nearly every other fae creature, I say nearly every other, like a bunch of the fae creatures reference the Feywild as like the place where the courts exist. They specifically reference the courts. Hags in particular do this. Pixies, as far as the sort of stat block implies, are squirrels. They just live in actual regular forests. They don't come to the Feywild, which I personally love the idea that like occasionally another fae shows up and they're like, oh no, we're in charge because you left us here and we were the only fae around, so we decided that we were the whole court.
There's just like a bunch of pixies playing court. Yay! New rules.
It's like a tea party.
Yeah, everything's a tea party. Pixies do nothing that doesn't involve tea in some aspect.
Looking at what I've got here, it's like they array themselves like princes and princesses of the Fae. But so is this a dress up for them, or are they actually, do we have royalty pixies, or is it all a facade?
There was something I read that said up to 70% of pixies refer to themselves as royalty in some way.
That wasn't a thing you read, Aram. That was when we were talking about them on a stream and you made that up.
Oh, was that us?
Oh, God.
I just quoted myself.
Not even a thing you wrote. Just a thing you said once.
It was transcribed, Dylan. That counts as writing.
Yeah, sure.
You got to quote yourself, like quote, stream, tweet that, put that audio clip
I'm gonna have to quote myself again. I have to quote myself a third time. It's like Inception quoting.
Well, at this point, the Inceptions worked because you believed it.
I did. I fully believed it.
You incepted yourself years ago.
I read this incredibly insightful piece.
Okay, so we got three options right now for the Pixies' relation to the courts. One is that it's like a weird convergent evolution thing. They're literally just like squirrels that happen to turn into magical people, and then like a hag or like another actual fae showed up and they went, oh, we're just like you. We must be part of this.
I don't care what the other two are. I'm already voting for one, but please go ahead.
Option two is I want them to be part of the Unseelie Fae. Like, I want them to be part of the mean court, and the mean court kicked them out and left them on Earth.
Because they were too nice?
Not even necessarily nice, just obnoxious. Like, they're so, like...
They were too annoying for mean court.
Like George.
We have a specific duchy we need you to handle. So if you just go through this portal... No, don't look back. Just go through the portal. Thank you. Perfect. Close.
Why are there 10,000 of us going through? I'm surely you don't need this many people. It's fine. Don't worry. They're really strong.
First of all, pixies don't ask questions ever. There's never a follow-up question with pixies. I imagine with the evil court, there's like a certain emo vibe they're trying to maintain. And up with pixies isn't really going to help with that.
We mentioned this a couple times. Pixies are weird in that they're super powerful in terms of magic.
So, at will, a pixie can cast druidcraft. Once each day, a pixie can cast confusion, dancing lights, detect evil and good, detect thoughts, dispel magic, entangle, fly, phantasmal force, polymorph, and sleep. They also have superior invisibility.
You don't want any of their abilities going off at court. The fact that they could be flying around invisible, hearing everything you say, the fact that they can listen to your thoughts, the fact that they like actually specifically know if things are evil or good, like they're just reading people. That's not even getting into if they drop a dispel magic, entangle, phantasmal force, polymorph, or confusion just in the middle of court. Like these are a threat.
I don't think the pixies were ever evil either. They just kind of absorb whatever the general vibe is going around. So if they're around evil people, they're a little bit ha 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 ha. And if they're around good people, they become a little bit just kind of mischievous. They're like bad Janet from The Good Place.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I don't think they get mischievous around good people. I think that whole tiny tricksters thing in the fact they pick that up from being around evil people. They're just terrible at it.
Right. right.
Like if you're a malicious person, but you're just not good at it, you're doing shit like tying shoelaces together and you're like, haha, that was a funny prank, right?
It's like when a 13-year-old hurls one roll of toilet paper and thinks they've just done the most amazing prank ever.
I'm a rebel.
What, the pixies with their sleeves ripped off? I threw 2 rolls of toilet paper. Ooh.
I'm going to get on my design soapbox for a minute. Armor class of 15 is pretty good for a low-level creature. It's not half bad. It's a 50-50 chance to hit with your good stat, basically.
I have a problem already.
Yes.
A creature like a pixie should have 2 different ACs, and one should be if they're flying. Because hitting a pixie who's standing is a hell of a lot different than hitting a pixie in midair should be a hell of a lot harder than AC 15.
Here's how you do that. You add a ability in their stat block that is just fluttering transit or something like that. Some fluttering movement, and it's disadvantage to hit while it's in the air.
Then you could be able to lower their AC as a result too. Because 15 at disadvantage is hard.
Well, it should be. Try to shoot a pixie with an arrow.
It's also 1 hit point.
True.
It should be hard.
15 at disadvantage is really rough, but also 1 hit point means that if you hit it, it dies.
This is a creature, once again, that was designed to not be fought.
Yeah.
And that's why it is as weak as it is. It should be a little bit stronger and a little bit harder to kill.
But you don't have to concern yourself with that because it's not meant to be fought, except you put it in the book of things for murdering.
Yeah. You put a stat block in there, someone's going to try and kill it at some point. Or they're going to see how, it can cast a bunch of 4th and 5th level spells once a day for free, effectively.
And magic resistance is something that I have an objection to. It has magic resistance. It's got advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, which if it were like enchantment or charm effects, then that's because it has Fey heritage, which makes sense. That's just grandfathered in. It doesn't matter. Every spell that I would be concerned about having advantage on is half damage on a failed save.
Right, so what does it matter?
Why do I care? If I cast Burning Hands at a team of pixies, there aren't any more pixies.
Right, so instead of magic resistance, they should have evasion.
Give them evasion. You don't want them to go down immediately. Give them this weird little fluttering thing where there's disadvantage to hit them. And suddenly you have something that could exist. Because right now, a flock of bats will annihilate a pixie court.
Any kind of spell save effect that isn't dexterity by the look of it as well will also just murder them.
They've got a +2 to wisdom, which isn't... It's nothing to scoff at if you're going up against a 1/4 critter, right?
No, I mean, yeah, 1/4. Is it? What's a goblin? Is that a quarter or is that an eighth?
It's a quarter.
So yeah, similar AC as well, but they have 7 health instead.
Nothing about a pixie makes me think they're wise. Wisdom has always been a weird stat because they have to be able to see things and be aware of things. For some reason, that's translated to wisdom because pixies are not wise. The whole point of them is that they don't plan, they don't think ahead, they don't consider consequences. They just have an innate ability to avoid danger. and that keeps them alive.
That's street smarts then.
Yeah, street smarts.
That's wisdom. That's street smart, because intelligence is like your book smarts and your planning.
This is something where I think you might want to tune down the stat and give them the skill, like you give them insight or you give them the wisdom saves, because yeah, I would say in general they're not wise, but if they don't have that tuned like street smarts, then they're going to walk face first into danger. Especially given that they have an urge to introduce themselves so strong that it's nearly self-destructive.
That's my favorite part.
Well, now that's why their intelligence is lower.
Yeah, because like they want to. Also, it's leaf smarts. We're going to call it leaf smarts.
Bunch of pixies just going over, scritching a bunch of wolves because they're like, look, I found some puppies.
Pixies should have like this just innate likeness about them. I think creatures just like them. Birds and other things that should eat them don't for some reason. And maybe it's their pixie dust, right? Like maybe they choke on it or something. Maybe there's some natural reason why they don't get eaten. Maybe they taste bad.
But this is part of why, like, the fact that it doesn't reference the Feywild is weird to me. Because, like, the idea of actually having pixies existing in a forest somewhere doesn't work because due to that separation from sprites. And I think in the sprite stats, it actually specifically says something about them not liking pixies. They don't want to hang out with them. They have no defenses, which means either they need a way that will keep all of the animals away, or they're always invisible because they have superior invisibility, but pixies can't see other pixies that are invisible based on the rules. So like that doesn't work. An entire society that cannot see each other because otherwise owls will come for them, which is also a great thing. I do really like the idea of a group of pixies that stays perpetually invisible because they're afraid of owls.
I like the idea of a whole village of pixies thinking they're the only person living there, but they keep thinking people come into their village and steal their shit because they don't realize that there's like 40 other people living in the same area doing the same shit.
If they're everywhere, like this is a problem. These are a problem creature. The other option is to put them in the Feywild. Then you get that weird excuse of like, no. Once you're in the Feywild, the animals know they're Fey. Like, it's not necessarily that the animals are any smarter, but the animals also know the court's rules. And they're not fucking with the Fae.
It's the Lion King idea that all the animals can speak to each other and have like a general understanding of the rules, even though some of them eat the other ones. They're all just like, well, that's just how it happens.
That's just how it is.
Usually the predators are telling you that's just how it is, and that's the circle of life. It's very rarely the deer talking to the other deer going, well, sometimes we can eat, and that's just how it is, Timmy.
Yeah, the Lion King was really priming people for capitalism.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of people who use our bodies for their benefit. It's fine. They're
fine.
kind of noble kings.
They're better than we are.
Thank you for eating me, Elon. The last thing I want to mention just in terms of Pixie society is like they have that opposition to violence, but also like every Pixie thinks it's a prince and there's no reference to any sort of structure. There aren't like Pixie cobblers. Like there's implicitly like a Pixie tailor somewhere. What do these things eat? Like, are there Pixie farmers? Like, this is part of why they only work in the Feywild.
I've actually read about this. They eat what we eat, but they add a bunch of spices and stuff that is really toxic to people. It's great for them, but it's like all the poisonous stuff we can't eat, they can eat.
Where did you read this?
I am outside of D&D lore now. I am just talking about Pixie lore in general.
Okay, so now you're talking about Pixies like Cornwall and shit.
I do love the idea that they would have like a perfect cupcake and then put like a slug on it or something like that people just would not eat, but to them is perfectly natural.
I was thinking like a good berry situation. Like, do they have the capability for the good berries to exist in their society? And then, you just pop one of those bad boys in your mouth and then you're good for a day from memory?
And then standard disclaimer, the thing we always have to point out is like, you go to the UK and Pixies have like 1,000 backstories.
That could just tie into the fact that every single little group of pixies says it's a court or a royalty, invents their own ridiculous backstory, and that just feeds its way into the people.
Absolutely.
How many courts does England have?
The UK is currently what, like 4 countries, and then also the bit of Ireland that isn't part of the UK.
True. Yeah.
It sort of makes sense, but it's also like, this is one of the times where D&D took something that has a name, that has a backstory to it. There is a whole bunch of folklore that could be really, really cool. And instead they said, what if Tinkerbell was a character?
Which I support, but that's what they did. Yeah.
Right down to the fact that pixie dust is believed to make you fly.
Oh. Is that like Peter Pan, right?
Yeah, exactly. I maintain that should be true, and then you've just fluffed it by giving them the once a day fly spell. But like, effectively, that's what that is.
The once a day fly spell is so they can make others fly.
Exactly, because they can. So that's pixie dust.
But their pixie dust can also make people fly. So maybe they're like, can you only shake them once and then they're out of dust until they regrow dust tomorrow? Is dust like just skin flakes? Is that what this is?
It's pixie sweat.
Is it dust at that point, or is it a light shower then?
They sweat a little bit, it dries off, and now it's like this weird little pixie salt.
Oh, so it's like crystalline. Oh.
It's really good on popcorn.
Yeah.
It's very light.
Delicious, delicious pixies.
Lightly salted, slightly sweet.
Matt, is the pixie a monster?
I would say probably no in this case. And if you do, there are methods at which you could easily dispose of a large quantity of them. See Fireball.
Which is still overkill, because Burning Hands covers like maybe only a quarter of the area, but still like...
If I'm going for the kill, we're going for the widespread murder.
They can turn invisible. Make sure you hit them.
Exactly.
You would also leave no trace whatsoever. Like, there would be no evidence left if you fireballed a group of pixies.
Half damage on a fail, it doesn't matter.
Minimum damage, still 8. Pixies are just talking magic items. They exist so that the players can befriend them, and you have to befriend them instead of loot them. But once you're friends with a pixie, it travels around with you for the next little area, and it's like, oh, can you cast polymorph on this? Can you hit this room full of goblins with a sleep? You want to entangle this for me?
Like a spell dispensary.
Yeah, I kind of love that. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it is just a good familiar. It's what a familiar should be.
Pixies are one of the ones you can summon. With a flock of familiars, you can summon pixies. And if you do that, you can then summon a bunch of pixies who can then all polymorph.
Yep, and there's also summon Feywild or woodland spirits or something. Same
which
deal.
They can summon more pixies.
You can summon like 16 of them.
Also then summon more pixies.
Pixies can't summon pixies. They don't have that spell around.
They do. They're like little demons.
No, the little I was actually going to bring up the Bulgur and things can infinitely summon themselves.
Yeah.
Based on a good dice roll. Looking at their stat block, they don't have a method to summon themselves though.
No, they don't.
And unless they, let's say you have like a homebrew thing where they cry out and then it'll like a wasp nest. They'll just summon other ones somehow.
They just come streaming out of holes.
That's something you give to sprites. This is a time where they should have an ecology to the Fae. There should have been a Fae section that included hags and pixies and sprites, and that way they can have a thing where they just call out, yeah, no, a pixie is basically a honeybee. It flies around, it's friendly, it likes flowers, it just wants to make honey and everyone be happy. And sprites want to do their shit. They are wasps. If you come near them, they'll stab you repeatedly. If you kill one sprite, more sprites come.
How would you change the pixie in Dungeons and Dragons?
Honestly, I would maybe give them like just 5 health instead of 1. Because if people do want to start fighting these things at level 1, give them a tiny bit more survivability. I really liked the changes to the dexterity or the evasion stuff, like having the flutter fly type ability to make them kind of harder to hit. But you don't want to fall into Quickling territory. If there's been a Quickling episode, then oh my god.
Oh, we'll talk Quicklings later, because there's one
of those is a TPK for level 1s. That's too hard. like something not akin to a clickling, but like, you know, very, very evasive kind of creatures that the DM will, you know, in their nature, it says pixies don't really want to fight. So giving them the tools to buff or debuff themselves or the others to either make an escape or...
This is the contrast to quicklings. Where you can get away with it in pixies is that a pixie does not have any aggressive actions it can take.
No murder.
Confusion might cause you to kill your party, hypothetically, but they have no damage dealing abilities. So if you give them an 18 AC and then give everyone disadvantage, that just means they can make fun of you, which is great.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, how much do you want to fight a pixie?
If a party is gunning for pixie blood, they're the monsters.
And, you know, you can flip it. You can flip the podcast to, you know, just make it a player grinder dungeon.
That's the thing I would do with pixies, with unicorns, with a couple of these things, where you just take them out of the main body of the monster manual and you put them in the back, where it's like, these are explicitly NPC monsters. They are helpful. They will give you buffs. They will be your friends. And they have stats because you might, like, woodland creatures. If you have a group of pixies that notice a tree spawning blights in the middle of the woods, suddenly you have, like, a bunch of... Well, they can't handle it. They can't deal damage.
Well, they can turn into things that can deal damage.
Polymorph is limited to the CR of the creature.
So they can turn into other 1/4 challenge rating creatures.
So they can deal a little bit of damage. All right.
So let's see.
I think they could be a panther.
They can be an axe beak.
Oh, that's pretty handy.
An axebeak is mean. I would not want to fight an axebeak. An axebeak would kill me as a person.
An axe beak is an Australian creature.
That thing's a cassowary.
Yeah,
it's a cassowary. I lived near those. My dad got chased by one.
I had to lasso an emu once. That's a fucking separate story, but it's just a thing that I like to say because it doesn't feel like it's real, even though I know it's true.
I did not have to do either of these things because I grew up in a civilization.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But we also sell merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell and grow at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. They have an all-in-one e-commerce platform and in-person POS system, so wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. With the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. Shopify has allowed us to share something tangible with the podcast community we've built here, selling our beanies, sweatshirts, and mugs to fans of our shows without taking up too much time from all the other work we do to bring you even more great content. And it's not just us. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Shopify is also the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/REALM now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Aram, I'm going to have you run the intro to this adventure with the little briefing because you love your pixie bullshit, and I feel like that'll be more fun for you.
I do love my pixie bullshit. That should be on my business card.
Once they're on the mission and the game is about trying to murder people, I will take over again.
Understood.
I only want to see pain.
Explain it and then shut the fuck up.
Yes.
So, you all are members of Pearl, the Pixie Extraction and Recovery Legion, assigned to a 3-Pixie squad. This group was started because pixies get captured. They get taken by unscrupulous wizards or mischievous children or asshole rich people who want to put them in a cage like a bird. They just get taken all the time. And this was their way of saying, enough is enough. We have to protect our own. 3 days ago, a crow named Nightfall came to the Pixies because he saw a wizard named Ramir capture one. He was looking to sneak into the wizard's cabin. He's pulled this a couple times before. If he can get in and get out, he can always get a good trinket or two. And crows do love a shiny trinket. This time, however, he saw the elven wizard coming back with a cage. And inside that cage was an unconscious pixie. He went into his cabin. Nightfall did Nightfall's thing, but eventually got around to telling us that there was a problem. Once that was heard, the three of you were notified to come into Pixie headquarters. How did you all meet each other?
All right, I met Fubsy when we were back in training, and I figured, he's a bit of a smart lad. We'll get him going in the squad. Don't know the other guy, though.
I met Honeystar when we were bird watching in the north. We were defending the line for the fairies, and we had to do many dark things.
The battle was tough when it started, and you fought hard, but then the hawk showed up, and once a hawk is in play, there aren't rules anymore. You do what you have to survive, and no one can blame you for what happened.
All is fair in love and war.
Pixies have one hit point. If a beetle shows up, it's a deadly encounter.
Every moment I see on that battlefield could be my last.
Every moment with a light wind could be your last.
Fubsy and I met in the high north, fighting off other Pixie rebellions and folk-like. He saved my life, and now I owe him mine.
What was the cause of the Great Pixie Rebellion?
Not enough nuts to go around.
No, Rob, it's not pixie bullshit. It's standard dark famine shit.
I'll tell you what, anytime fairies fight, it's because there's not enough nuts to go around. So that's accurate.
I fucking hate you.
Did you like that?
Your team has been called to Pearl Headquarters, which is this old hollowed out tree, about 5 stories tall. And each level is a new level of pixie research and development. The main level has a nice little entry with little pixie statues all along the wall. And then instead of a staircase, there's just a hollow hole through the floor. You can just fly right up it. There's little gilded balconies on all of them. But today you have a meeting with Commander Tiptoe at the very top of Pearl HQ.
We got orders from the top. Must be a big job.
Even though you're pixies and can just fly to the top, I imagine you go in through the entryway anyway, because,
I walk out of respect for me job.
So there's a elder pixie at the reception desk as you walk in. Name?
Fubsy Forrester.
Mm-hmm. And you're here for?
We have a meeting with Tiptoe at the top.
Oh, fancy. All right. Well, and she stamps all your badges, and then she hands you all a little piece of candy. Go on.
Much obliged, ma'am.
Is there any orange in this?
No, there's no orange. Well, hang on. Wait, no, hang on. It's right here. Here's a peppermint. You take that one.
Oh, excellent. The joys of peppermints. This is why we fight.
Each of them says that. It just says, this is why we fight in cursive, in little gold cursive on everyone.
And it's all cutesy.
So you guys fly up to the top. Each of the levels has like various little desks and little comfortable pillow areas where pixies are reading or filling out reports. There's pixies flying up and down this corridor. It's a literal beehive of activity. You get to the very top, and Commander Tiptoe is standing there waiting. She's leaning against her desk. She has several folders out, and when she sees you arrive, she snaps it shut, places it on the desk behind her, leans back. Greetings, Pixies. Thank you for answering the call. gestures to a couple little mounds of pillows in front of her desk.
Thank you, love. And I just go slump on a pillow. Very softly, though.
Yeah, they're very comfortable.
I tip my hat in a Western way.
Not in a fedora way.
Yeah, in a Western way.
What's a Western way, Benji?
You just spit. That's the difference.
I spit peppermint tobacco out of my mouth.
I get a musk stick and kind of put it in my mouth like a cigarette. Like, what's the job?
Before we get started, this is a pinky swear level meeting. And then Tiptoe flies over to each of you one by one. Pinky swear. Pinky swear. Pinky swear.
On my life.
Now that we are sworn in, here is the, and then goes and proceeds to tell you all about how this one pixie was captured. It's a pixie that's very, very important to Commander Tiptoe. Can't tell you why, but we need this pixie back.
A high-value target.
High value, and then she looks on her desk and her finger kind of brushes one of the little photos she has on her desk. It's clearly her sister, right? But then she straightens back up. Yes, a very high value target that is important to pixie kind.
What sort of threats are we facing?
He's an elf from Candlekeep. He and the other scribes are curious. Most of them just take notes on us. This one seems to have taken us. We need us back.
And so it shall be done, as the sacred bond of the Pinky Swear has been formed.
You have our word.
As per usual, you will be outfitted with your usual gear. And she hands you each with one of these little wooden pearl badges. They're these little pink painted wood badges with a little pearl in the middle, and it says pearl on the petals. These badges allow you to communicate to each other. If you tap them and talk aloud, they will talk to any other pixie within a mile. So you can always be in communication with each other. They also have the effect of a brooch of shielding.
Oh.
Which most importantly means that you cannot all be wiped out with magic missile at just the wave of a hand. Otherwise, this would be a very short encounter with any wizard.
Before they had invented the brooch of shielding, they had to send you out in 4-person units, specifically because a first level spell slot leaves a survivor.
My pearl badge is telling me there are hot singles in my area.
It also does that, yes. Yes, it does. You are then presented with some documentation, including a map. The crow described the room the best they could, and your artists have redrawn it here. You see a simple cabin. All the rooms are fairly well detailed except for one, and that's where he believes the wizard's lab is, and probably where the pixie's being held. What did you all pick, by the way? What are the different specialties for your pixies?
I'm a sniper class.
Oh, yeah, I was going to go stealthy and stab with silver dagger.
Guess I'll go safe cracker. Does that mean we don't have a medic?
That means you don't have a medic.
Oh, shit.
We don't need a medic.
You all have one good berry.
We're the elite.
We all die someday. Today might just be that day.
Keep the positivity.
And because you are the protagonist, you do have death saves.
We will not be using massive damage rules, despite the fact that I think it'd be funny.
Can we swear? Do pixies swear?
Pixies curse, but they all giggle as soon as they curse.
What a manky
Yeah.
Fucking awful.
That is fudged.
I love this character.
So, Commander Tiptoe would turn to you all after presenting this information and say, is there anything else you all need to know?
How much collateral damage?
As much as you wish. We have no love for this wizard, but we do believe he's dangerous. So avoiding him would probably be for the best.
Are we talking about leaving squirrels in his bed?
As a present? Sure, I mean, that seems nice, but really, he's a dangerous wizard.
No, I'm thinking dastardly shit.
Oh, leave him a message, yeah.
You know, those kind of squirrels.
Give the squirrels a piece of paper and have them hand it over.
Yeah, like a strongly worded letter.
I'm on board with this.
Tell him he's a bad man.
Well, maybe no one ever has. Maybe someone just needs to let him know. But I would say probably avoid him because he has been known to kill small things frequently.
Let's poison his food.
Okay, that's a way, sure.
With love.
Let's kill his cat.
All right.
Everyone's like, wait a minute. No. Also, as far as we know, it does not have a cat. However, does have a pseudo dragon familiar.
He's got a captive dragon.
I will avoid that.
He's got a little captive dragon bait. Well, little relatively. To you, it's a bus-sized dragon.
All right, fellas, we got a bit of a secondary mission. He's got a dragon there.
Out of curiosity, just for my benefit, what is the mission implied by the existence of a dragon? Because I literally have no idea where you're taking this.
It's a fey dragon. He belongs in the wild.
Okay, cool.
With the other dragon. No, I don't want to fight that fucking thing.
Then Commander Tiptoe would look to each of you, nod.
Good luck, Pixies. May Titania's light guide you all.
What do your pixies all look like?
I've got like flared out pink and yellow Goku hair. Yeah, I'm wearing like little bark armor.
Do you look like Vegeta? Are you just pink Vegeta?
No, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Pink Vegeta with wings.
It's willow bark, so it's also white armor.
I've got a completely buzz cut head, and you can see like a little bit of growth back, like I haven't shaved it in maybe a day or two. And I've got like rainbow, like almost like a stained glass window of wings.
You're the only pixie with male pattern baldness.
Oh no, it's intentional. I did this.
Oh.
I did this.
That's what he tells everyone.
Yeah, that's what he tells everyone.
Yeah, no, I shaved this the other day.
Yeah, we all know.
I've got like this, it's like a mint green and salmon kind of lock picking kit kind of sewn into my whatever armor I'm wearing.
Honeystar has a duster jacket that's sleeveless and a cowboy's hat and this big, bright pink beard.
The amount of dedication that goes on into putting on a duster while you have wings is astonishing.
I'm picturing a little crop top duster jacket as well.
Yeah, it's got like a little bit of belly showing.
Midsection. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's got like a bear tummy. It's like nice pink hair as well.
I want to say like I've got short shorts on and like boots that come up to my knees so you can see some thigh.
Oh, that's hot.
But he's got real buff legs, just the legs though. His arms are like he's more weedy in the arms.
A man built for kicking.
I'm built for kicking and picking locks and nothing else.
Dylan, I'm done then.
It is getting dark by the time you arrive. Some of the intel from Nightfall was that Remmer should be going on vacation. And you happen to arrive at the edge of the clearing, basically in time to see him wander out. He mutters a couple words in Elvish. Which one of you do you think is the cleverest?
Yeah, it's got to be our resident veteran.
Yeah, it's got to be Fuzzbuzzle.
He's seen some shit.
All right. Fubsy, Elven has the same roots as Sylvan, so you like catch a little bit of it. He mutters the Elven word for leave on his way out the door, and immediately all the windows shut. There's like a bit of smoke coming out of the cabin, and it immediately goes from like that active sort of white puff of a fire going to just sort of smoldering embers, that light wispy smoke. You see him look over at some rose bushes, squint a little bit. He gestures his hand, and immediately you see a squirrel lifted as if force choked, but tiny. And then he just swings his arm. The telekinetic force just throws the squirrel into the woods. You hear a thunk a little ways in. It takes a lot of force to make a squirrel go thunk. Just kind of looks with some resentment, shakes his hand off, gestures, a portal opens, and Remmer leaves on vacation.
This is one sick fudge.
I assume, and you guys can correct me as you see fit, that you travel under invisibility. You guys have a free, like, you can just turn invisible at will. So you are invisible. You are at the edge of this clearing, maybe like 50 feet out from the house. There's a well out front that you can see that wasn't on the crow's map, but also it was drawn by a crow. So, I mean, hard to fault them. Did great. Just to sort of the south, which direction is this? Southwest of the house is like this little, looks like an apple tree. It's not the season for it. Doesn't have apples on it, but you fuckers know your tree, so you know it's an apple tree with some nice little rose bushes around a bench. Seems like a nice, relaxing place to sit and read. How do you want to proceed?
We could use our wings. Fly up, get down that chimney.
Is that going to get us seen?
We're invisible. Where are you?
Oh, you're right. But what if they could see us?
Marco.
Problem is, I'm seeing with this strategy already.
Is that your face? Oh.
Oh, it's me nose.
I wasn't reaching high.
No, I've got a big schnoz if you never saw earlier.
Team of pixies all holding hands in the woods while invisible so that they know where everyone is.
I have an idea. Perhaps if we all paint ourselves, then we can see each other when we're invisible.
That is the smartest idea.
You're a genius. This is why you're the veteran.
And Fubsy reaches down into the mud and just like brushes mud all over him so you can see this mud outline.
I do the same thing, but with my hat. So you see my hat covered in mud. That's about it.
Can I stick I don't want to consume the good berry, but can I stick my finger in it to get like some like maroon out and just like cover my body in the maroon?
So we have a floating hat, a roughly hewn neon outline of a fairy, and just sort of a maroon floating berry juice puddle.
Genius.
No, never suspect a thing.
It would be dangerous in case we accidentally attacked each other. Now we are all safe.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Now we must make our way through the fireplace.
Is it lit?
First, before you can answer that question, the moment you enter the clearing, this entire conversation becomes moot because an anti-magic field procs.
Well, an anti-invisibility field at least.
Yes. It's a targeted effect. It
Oh,
specifically
fuck.
kills your invisibility. So immediately you are visible and filthy. When you get over to the roof, you can see that the chimney is still getting like a little bit of smoke out. It is embers. The fire just went out. You could go down there. It will be a little bit rough. It's also going to be a bit of an achievement because you're going to have to dive down there, pull your wings in because those bricks still have all the heat of the recent fire, and like it's going to be a bit of an acrobatic maneuver. So it's an option. It's just a slightly dangerous option.
Is there a keyhole on the door?
The door is magically locked. There is a keyhole, and you can kind of tell that the magic is sort of localized there. You're fairly certain that there is a regular-ass key somewhere.
Check under the doormat.
And I'll do that. I'll look under a doormat.
I'll help him lift up the mat.
That's fucking huge.
Yeah, the two of you are lifting it up, and the last one, because you can't lift it that high, it's very heavy, has to like crawl on their stomach to get under. There's absolutely a key under the doormat.
Just like you said, that's why you're the vet.
It's attached to a wooden tag that says Ramir's cabin, like it's the worst security possible.
What a tactical genius he is.
Give me a strength check, whoever is trying to unlock the door.
So I rolled a 5, -4.
It takes like a concerted effort. You are like fluttering, trying to get it up. You wind up like sitting down, taking the key ring, having to like pry it apart and get the little like wooden block off the end to get the weight down, and then you can get it up. Finally, just like getting it in and then just flying back. You get a good foot of lead up, then you fly in and drop kick the top of the key with just enough force to get it to click to the side.
He's doing both the things I'm good at. I'm so proud of him. I taught him well. Except the veteran, he's actually older than me.
You should see him do his paper mache. It's actually quite good.
I love origami.
I saw him make an elephant. It was fucking phenomenal.
None of you have seen an elephant. It does not look anything like an elephant.
It's a giraffe.
With a trunk.
The key, when it clicks over to the side, There's a little bit of a flash to it. You can all feel the magic sort of dissipate from the door. The door is unlocked. You've defeated my door puzzle. It's a Rom's door puzzle. He wrote this one.
You changed it. You changed my door puzzle.
I did, because your door puzzle's too hard.
Especially for 3 dumb pixies.
And this is funnier. I'm going to make the wild assumption that you open the door.
No, let's go through the chimney.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go through the chimney.
This is what they would be expecting.
Fellas, I know doors that clicking sound. Definitely you broke the lock.
It's got to be a trap for sure.
Let's go through the chimney.
We're not going to save this fucking pixie.
Never give us the option to do something stupid.
This is going to be one, like, you guys have to go down one at a time because this is dangerous. I want you to make an acrobatics check. The DC is going to be 10.
We should make this a skills check. Each of them picks a different skill, tells us how they go down and why they picked that skill.
Okay.
With my daring charisma, I will start singing the walls and use the reverberation to guide myself down.
That's some serious pixie bullshit.
I want you to make me a charisma check to try to echolocate down the chimney.
Can do.
Which I will point out is a well-lit and straight tube.
I'm a songbird of my generation. I got a 16.
Old Town River.
This isn't singing, this is a high-frequency noise so that he can echolocate. Don't be a jackass, Matt. You're clearly the one being absurd in this circumstance.
He's just saying yeehaw over again.
One super high-pitched yeehaw.
Quite frankly, if I were to give you any consequence for this choice, it would immediately kill you, which leads me to let a 16 succeed, and I want you to know that I resent it.
Are we still in an anti-magic field?
The anti-invisibility thing is outside the cabin. It is a protective thing. So once you're in the chimney at all, once you're inside the cabin in any way, shape, or form, you can pop your invisibility again.
Do I make it down to the bottom?
Absolutely, because again, I don't want to punish you with fucking death. So we're just gonna let this slide. So you get down and it is a floating hat coming out of this high-pitched shriek down the chimney.
I tap my pearl badge to radio up to the other two.
This is Honey Sir. I'm in. Come on down. Stay toasty.
This is Dingleberry. What you see down there?
What you see is the wizard's study. You can see the paper bindings, which were in fact books. A huge wingback chair sitting in front of this fireplace where, like I said, this fire went out when you entered the clearing. So it's still like smoldering. There's still some red embers to it. There is a table with a book right at the side of the chair. And sitting on top of the bookshelf is a bone white pseudo-dragon. The scales legitimately look as if you took bone and just flaked it. It sort of rolls onto its side and you can see just a bright yellow underbelly.
There's also a piano.
There's also a piano, yes. I forgot to mention the piano. The piano is very important.
They've got a desk, they've got a chair, they've got a couple of embers in this fireplace. And mission point number 2's down here. The dragon.
Oh, fuck.
He looks like he has been put down in a very oppressive way. and we need to unoppress him.
Fucking bastards, a lot of them.
Come on down to Potter Town. Over now.
The extraction is a go.
And then I like cross my arms around over my chest and like fall backwards, dive down the chimney.
Okay, we're going to call that a dexterity acrobatics. I don't believe you guys have acrobatics as a skill, but if you do, you can add that as well.
That's a natural 1.
When I see him just dive headfirst down there, can I go, fucking madman? And then I realize he hasn't like done anything yet. Can I cast Entangle on the bottom of the fireplace using some house plants maybe that are in the next room?
If you want to burn the spell, you can.
I will try to burn the spell. Yeah, if it fails, it fails. I've said it.
You're spending a resource. I'm just going to give you the success on this one. Is you immediately see like that this is going to go wrong, and from the little gaps between the bricks at the bottom of the fireplace, you get these roots. Clearly, the trees and everything going under the house. You just grab them and pull them up, and they wrap over the ashes and just sort of pull down a little bit. When Fubsy gets to the bottom, there is a light noise as he hits it, but it becomes a bounce rather than a sear.
Works every time.
You roll out the bottom and are just sitting there, covered in war paint, staring up at this sleeping dragon, who immediately starts to stir a little bit. I'm going to give you an opportunity to roll a stealth check to get out of line of sight. That's going to be your punishment for the nat 1. I can't kill you, but I can put you in danger.
25.
You know what pixies have down pat? Scatter.
And you just scramble along the ground under the chair.
I quickly make the shape of a teacup that's sitting under the chair that's fallen over.
You do, I'm a little teapot, except I'm a little teacup. And you just hide under the chair like that. That's perfect.
Quietly whispering it, I'm a little teacup, I'm a little teacup, I'm a little teacup.
I'm a little teacup.
DB, you're up top. What do you want to do?
I look down at that thing. I'm like, he's a fucking genius. And even though, like, you know, even though I saved him, I still think that's his doing.
He's got a real good handle on the situation.
Like, he's acting through me. I want to like slide down the side of the chimney, like, you know, like very roguishly, and kind of like jump onto the thing, like trampolining off it. Maybe do like a little bit of a flip and then land in like a hero pose, like Black Widow.
Honestly, you've kind of taken out the threat at the bottom, so we can just give you that.
Yeah, you could just jump.
Yeah.
Wee!
Yeah, all right. Wee! Boing! And I just like, I land in like a really cool pose and they go,
and you giggle at the bottom. Is that what you're sticking with?
Yeah.
Is that how you're doing this?
Yep.
Cool. So you get down and there's a wee, boing, and immediately this like lightly stirring dragon transitions to just, what the fuck? It doesn't giggle after it swears.
Yes, exactly. It's a mean dragon. And it just kind of like gets up like a cat. Its whole back arches and its scales just kind of lift up and point.
Who the fuck are you?
Immediately visible to the dragon, there is a floating hat, and there is a maroon pixie shape.
You should be back in the lab. Get back in the lab.
oh, I'm not what you think I am. I'm not what you think I am.
Of course.
Because I know Pixies love introducing themselves as well. I'm not what you think I am. I'm not actually made of juice.
And he would just sigh.
Fucking Pixies.
Puts his little dragon head down, looks up at you.
Look, get in the fucking lab, or I'm gonna roast you.
You've been oppressed for far too long.
He's got Stockholm syndrome. I knew it settled in already.
Real quick, I would like all of you to make an Arcana or a Nature check. Your call.
Nature's wisdom.
I'll do Arcana as the most intelligent of our group.
I've got a 12.
I got a 9 for nature.
13 for Arcana.
As it would happen, 12 was the DC I had set. So the only Pixie who has not been observed in any way as of yet is under there going, it can't roast anyone. Pseudo dragons don't breathe fire.
I touch my pearl badge and I tell the others.
It has no flame.
Does that come out? Like, does the pseudo dragon hear that? And the feedback's like, ee!
He said it out loud, and then you also hear it go off and the feedback, yes.
Which for a 25, you can absolutely get this out and remain hidden, and that's why you remain hidden. The feedback is enough that the noise is like, you can't pinpoint it. Doesn't know where that came from.
I look down at my badge. I look up. I'm like, you couldn't roast a potato, mate.
Once he realizes that there's more than two of you, like he's about to answer and say something snarky back, but he sees that there's two of you. He's like, wait, that's not right. And he's going to then engage. So I think he would go into a fight, and we should roll for initiative.
Okay, so Matt, you got an 18. Benji, what'd you get?
A 17.
Okay, George.
23.
Aram.
I got a 12.
George, you're currently safe. Flubsy is under the chair, and you hear the sounds of a rapid movement from where you know the dragon was coming from. You're a soldier, you know these sorts of sounds. That sounded like a pounce. What do you want to do?
I would like to cast dancing lights and have them spin around me in a Sailor Moon style as I burst out with my dagger in both hands.
Okay, now strictly speaking, that should be like your action would be casting dancing lights, but fuck that, rules are stupid. So you can make an attack if you want. The dancing lights are purely an aesthetic motion.
Yep. Well, that would be a 9.
A 9 is not quite enough. You come out, big glowy shape that you are, to this dragon in mid pounce, lunging towards DB. It sees you, and the wings just flare out, and its fall kind of stops in midair, and your lunge just goes under it. You land sort of on the opposite side of the dragon as it's sort of hovering just above you.
And I whisper into its ear,
The next one will be your throat.
as a bead of sweat drips down the side of my head.
Smearing the paint as it goes.
Oh, Fubsy, you madman. I kind of look at them. I look at the dragon, and I'm like, what are we doing with this? Are we bringing him in, or is he too far gone?
No one is too far gone. We must save the oppressed.
All right, I stick out my hand, and you see like a fractal rainbow kind of come out, and it grips onto the pseudo dragon. I want to cast polymorph.
I was going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
A dragon is challenge 1/4, so you can turn it into anything with a challenge of 1/4 or lower, assuming it fails a wisdom save?
Yeah.
Wisdom save.
It's wisdom save, yeah.
Wisdom save.
I have a +1 on wisdom saving throws, and I rolled a 3, so that would be a fail.
What are you turning this thing into?
A little moth, or like a larval, like a cute little caterpillar.
Do you want the fuzzy one, or do you want like a colorful one?
I mean, fuzzy ones for me, the ones that hurt you. But if it's fuzzy and cute and non-harming, yeah.
We're gonna go with like a monarch caterpillar. They're like little black and white and orange cute things.
I should be all white with like a blue stripe.
Hey, are you casting polymorph? Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
We have guests here, dickbag.
I was thinking I want the kind of cute caterpillar that you don't know if it's going to turn into a moth or a butterfly. I don't mind what a color looks like. So blue stripe is fine. You can have your way on the coloring.
So it transforms, just drops the last like 1.5 feet to the ground.
Cursing the whole way.
Fuck. The whole time I'm
All
like,
three of us are going.
I pick it up.
So angry.
I just want to put it in a little my backpack or satchel, you know. Wait, hold on. A caterpillar would be pretty big for us, right?
Both hands.
Tiny size category is like 1 foot tall.
It's like holding a weasel.
Small cat.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to put it in my backpack, but I want the caterpillar's head to like stick out so we can see the adventure we're on.
You just cinch up the thing so that its like legs get stuck. Can't quite get out.
Yeah.
So you have a full hour, but it is concentration. So if you go invisible, your invisibility counts as a concentration effect, and it will pop that pseudo dragon.
That is fine. I will drop my invisibility for that, so I'm just a man covered in berry juice.
Aram, I'm going to let you make a strength check to try to escape the backpack. So you want to make that roll real quick?
Okay. I rolled a 3 again.
You fail. You're a caterpillar. I don't care what you rolled.
Hey, can someone cast sleep on this wiggly bastard?
No, he needs to see the destruction his master causes.
I have my mental stuff, right? Like I still think like a pseudo dragon.
Mental ability scores are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast. It retains its alignment and personality.
Yeah, so you're a piece of shit caterpillar, but you're absolutely a caterpillar right now.
So I'm just mad. Like it's hard. If you could look at a caterpillar and read pissed the fuck off. This is a pissed off squirmy caterpillar.
It is releasing excretions.
He's wiggling like a madman.
You effectively have a mad kitten in your backpack.
Is that it? Do we leave now?
That's mission number 2.
There is another.
Oh, right, yeah.
From here, there is a door two doors off to the south. You figure one of them is to an entry hallway. The other one is, based on the map, to the food ritual chamber. There's another door to the south that should lead to the wizard's quarters. You know that the lab should be off the entry hallway.
I would like to cast Detect Evil and Good to detect Fey within 30 feet.
You immediately detect the evil of the caterpillar. It's a very resentful caterpillar. It's angry as shit. It's a mean, angry caterpillar. If it were poisonous, it would bite you.
Yeah.
It's not poisonous and it would still bite you, but it wouldn't matter. You can see almost out into the woods around for the most part. And you're mostly alone. Like there's the little signatures of life, the things that are moving around. That room just off the side of the entry hallway, fucking pitch black. The walls are thick enough that you cannot see any signals coming from that room.
I detect not anything through those walls.
So it can't be there.
I believe that there will be secrets that reside.
That's not how buildings work. And I know buildings and trees. But I'll follow your lead, Fubs Wubbsy.
All right, so you head into the entry hallway?
I do, with a massive two-handed dagger in hand.
I cock my crossbow.
I pull out my lock kit.
It is, of course, just the entry hallway, so you can see the door at the far end, the actual entryway, with the little lock latch in the unlocked position. There is a door to the north leading into the kitchen. There's a door to the south leading into God only knows what.
What's that one at the end of the hallway? You know, everything's always got, you know, you one end to the other end. I feel like we should go through that one directly opposite us. You know, the longest road's always the one that has the most payoff.
Yeah, isn't that a Beatles song?
It's an actual band of just different Beatles.
Fucking 8 Beatles. They're not my taste.
Now you're just laughing. There's no swear in there.
No, I swore in the middle there. I swore in the middle.
Oh, tee-hee. Lead the way, Fubs Wubbsy.
I would like to head towards that big dark laboratory room.
You go over, and same sort of thing as before. You can tell basically this is definitely where you want to be, because this is the moment you push on it, there is a physical lock. But even before you see that, like you can see the keyhole, and you push, and before that little jangle, that indicator that like you've hit the latch, the door stops hard. There is nothing visible stopping it. There is a full-blown spell holding this door in place.
Can I talk to you guys as the worm? Can I communicate as the caterpillar?
Let's leave you your limited telepathy, because then you can be a piece of shit.
You guys should just leave now. Just fucking leave now. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Oh shit, he could talk.
I could talk the whole time. Put me back, turn around now, or you're gonna regret it.
Hey, what's your name?
First of all, I could have just roasted y'all.
No, he couldn't.
Could have roasted you with my fire breath. As a dragon, I have that.
Doesn't.
Yes, I could.
Appreciate that the dragon's talking to the fucking narrator now.
I can break the fourth wall. Appreciate that you let me live, but this is breaking and entering, assault, kidnapping, unlawful use of magics. You leave now, we can let this all slide.
I am the law, and the law says your master's a dickhead, tee-hee.
He's a jerk, fine, whatever. But, like, he's also a big scary wizard. He'll be home soon. If you go in that room, you know what? That's fine. Just go in the room.
Could someone shove a peppermint in his damn mouth? Tee-hee.
You've been oppressed for far too long, Kiev.
As you shove a peppermint in his mouth.
You got telepathy, so it doesn't matter.
I can still fucking talk, you assholes. It doesn't stop me at all. Boy, you are dumb. How did you get this far?
I could fashion an origami gag.
He's got another mouth somewhere. I know, he keeps talking.
I will cast Dispel Magic on the door.
I assume that this was just like an arcane lock or something, so that's first level. That just goes off. You reach out, and basically, with a little bit of concentration, you can gather up all the threads of magic into one little bundle, and then you just sort of twist, and it snaps almost like dry pasta. Just shatters in a couple of directions, and then it just immediately starts to dissipate. And now it's just a locked door.
Safe cracker, do your safe cracking.
I'll flitter up and say to the pseudo dragon, all right, this is how you actually get work done.
I do lots of things around here. I do the majority of the cleaning.
And can I do my lockpick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do the cooking. I write all the lists for the shops. I mean, I do a lot around here.
I got 10.
This is a booby-trapped lock. There's a secondary spell to it, and the moment you get it, you find the little latch, and you realize the moment you feel the pin kind of hit home, there was something you missed, and you feel just like a pulse. It's just the energy. You don't know what it is, but you feel energy go out through the room. The door is unlocked.
Hey lads, something's up in here. I felt like a blip as I unlocked that.
Like the same in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, half the population is dead now. It's your fault.
I think we're gonna have to make some apologies to some pixies after this.
Kiev leans in, his little caterpillar head kind of leaning over your shoulder as his little mandibles just brush against your ear.
You're fucked now, Pixies.
He's like a devil on me shoulder.
Inside this little research room, there's a tall cherry desk. It's got one of those covers that sort of rolls back. It's currently open, and unfolded across it is, from where you're floating, you can see like a rough map. You can't quite make out what it's a map of. You have to go over to investigate to get that sort of information. I'm not just going to give you everything. There is a journal also on the desk with like a magnifying glass sitting on top of it. Possibly most pressing, however, is bolted to the wall with like a brass ring. Picture one of those little viewports on like a submarine with like the globe sticking out of it.
Ye old submarine. 20,000 leagues under the sea submarine.
There's this globe sticking out of the wall. Inside of it, it's maybe 5 feet wide, and there is like a terrarium. Branches, small trees, dirt, and like a nice small cushion, sitting on which is a single pixie.
What does that pixie look like?
What's the pixie look like?
Looks like a younger version of Commander Tiptoe.
Ah, yes.
A little less stern, a little less tired.
Not quite as buff.
Do not panic, for we are here to rescue you.
Ma'am?
She doesn't respond. She doesn't seem to hear you or see you. She's just sitting there with her little feet swinging back and forth and her little wings sagging. Just,
With Fumble Bumble.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
You can. For the record, I am also going to start a timer right now. So yeah, you cast Detect Thoughts.
I'm so sad. I wish I wasn't in here. I wish I was anywhere else but this place. I wish I could see out.
Okay, she's exactly sad as we thought.
Yeah, she wants to be where the people are. She wants to see the people dancing.
Oh, I do wish I could dance again.
I'm gonna die in here.
Just like the others. Mother always told me I'd die this way. I guess she was right.
Oh, it's getting dark. She's going into trauma.
I never even had my first kiss.
She does not respond to anything you guys have said.
Can I do an insight check?
I'm going to give it to you for free. She straight up cannot hear you. She is cut off from the outside world as far as you can tell. This is a one-way glass type of situation.
Whoa.
Can we break the glass?
We must make haste.
You can see two major options. This is slightly thick. It would take some effort. There is also a large, heavy bolt set in there. Either way, this is going to take some sort of action hero level feats of strength to get open.
Well, we can do that.
I spit in my hands and I try to heave ho.
Okay, roll me a strength check.
Can I help with that?
Please.
You can. Roll with advantage.
-4 with advantage.
I got a 12.
This is actually the sort of latch that like a person could do with just like a little bit of force, but for you guys, it's a goddamn task. So you start pulling and it's hard. Like, you've got your legs planted on it, you're pulling on the bolt.
I'm sweating.
And it gets to the point where DB has to get under to the bottom of the bolt, and he's flapping with all of his might, pushing up.
I want to kick it. I want to kick the bolt with my legs.
Absolutely.
My body to wedge it.
Nothing else would move it but those kicking legs, man.
But them legs. I get my calves out. Just push.
That bolt comes up. That force from the kick is enough to launch it up, just enough for you to pull it off to the side, and gravity takes over. It clangs to the floor, and immediately, this whole apparatus rotates slightly as if on a hinge and pulls away from the wall.
Mist instantly forms. So whatever the difference was between the two atmospheres, it's just filled with mist that just kind of spills out as she's, oh, no, please, I haven't done anything. I mean you no harm, mister.
Howdy, man. We're here to get you out. Come on. We're Pearl.
Oh, Pearl!
Fumbler, you're the only one who's not paying attention to this, like, who wasn't involved in, like, opening this, which means you're the only one who would notice out the window a flash of bright orange. You recognize it. It's the color of the portal Remmer left through.
Pixies! We must make haste. We must get out. We must leave right now.
I know you're in there, Pixies!
Oh, sugar.
Honey, iced tea, we're in trouble.
Can I start setting fire to his lab?
I had to leave the spa, Pixies!
How are you going to set fire to this lab?
Do you know how expensive teleportation magic is, Pixies?
I just want to know in general, because, like, you don't have any spells that make fire, so I just...
No, but I'm a well-trained Pearl operative. I grab my crossbow bolt. I rip off the other crossbow that's glued to the bottom. I use it as like a flint, and I start going over to like a book, and I just start trying to set a fire.
You go over, and the closest loose paper is that map, and you look down and you see, like, the journal is open. There are pictures of pixies, more pixies, people you know, people who are important. He's been watching all of you, and you look down at that map and you see there are enchantments on Pearl HQ. You can only find it if you know where it is. You can't just walk it. You would never bump into it. There's little enchantments, little illusions that basically make you always steer wide.
It's in the Hidden Grove.
And he has the exact location marked. If he were to go to the Hidden Grove, he would be able to tear that tree down.
Oh, well, I'll fold that up then. I'll take that with us.
You grab that map, take it.
Any other papers? Books?
Yeah, absolutely. The journal you can go over to, and you just start kind of...
Yeah, fuck him and all his work.
And it starts going up.
All right, we're gonna get out. I don't know what I've done.
There are enough pages that this should actually be able to catch onto the desk.
It's arson. It's arson. We gotta go. I'm in too deep.
And now we're gonna go into initiative.
Natural 20. I got a 25.
I guess I'm not rolling for...
Oh, you can roll for both of them, but I have a feeling at this point that you're going to go after the Pixies.
Remir got a 13 plus 1 is 14.
I got 14 as well, but is your dex higher than mine?
No, yours is plus 5.
My dex is 13. Yeah, so yours is definitely higher. And I guess Kiev can't really do anything until he's not a constrained caterpillar.
Yeah, until I mess up or get damaged, yeah.
Roll anyway to find out, like, where the slot's going to fall.
Natural 1.
Okay.
So he's going last.
Cool. So it's Pixies, Remmer, and then Kiev, hypothetically. Whichever Pixie rolled the highest. Honestly, since the three of you are all going, like, as a mass, I'm not particularly concerned with what order you guys go in. So who's taking the first slot here?
I'm waiting for my leader.
Yeah, I'll go first.
What do you want to do?
I will immediately kick into gear. You will see my wings start beating like crazy as I try to mobilize us as a force.
Move together.
I say, as I try to get everyone to fly in a formation. And we're getting ready. We're fanning the flames with our wings as they heat up too.
Yeah.
Because we want to spread as much fire and chaos as possible. I knock over a glass of water for fun, like a cat off a side of a table.
Just off the desk. Breaks on the ground.
Everyone's just smashing things. It's just anarchy now.
Which, for the record, is a valid tactic the Pixies use frequently against wizards because they tend to walk on the ground. So if there's broken glass on it, that sucks for wizards. And it doesn't matter to you, flying losers.
Fools. Without shoes. Losers. And I will take flight, and I will attempt to probably fly back up the chimney.
We're gonna say that this whole fucking place is like 25 feet across, so with 30 feet fly speed you can get basically to the chimney by the end of your turn.
Okay, yep, I'll make my way to the chimney.
I take off my hat and I put it on the caterpillar, and then I telepathically say to him, "You're one of us now." And I take out another hat and put it on my head. So let's go.
Absolutely.
Caterpillar with a cowboy hat.
I have no idea where you got telepathy, but fine, sure, whatever.
The caterpillar looks confused. Like, Kiev looks confused, but is also really happy to have a hat.
Sorry, Kiev is under a hat now. Doesn't matter what Kiev looks like.
Yeah, my backpack just has a hat as far as we're concerned.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
All right, so I can't cast much of my spell kit if I'm concentrating on this Kiev.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dash all the way up the chimney if I can. I want to dash 60 feet.
You get up and you can see Remmer, textbook humanoid strategy flaw. They look level. They're looking through the window. You can tell that he can see like some of your allies moving around in there.
Yeah.
But he ain't looking up.
He ain't looking up.
You're basically floating like 10, 15 feet above the roof, staring down at this wizard. And that's your turn. Benji.
I will...
We're giving you the hat thing for free.
Nice. The wizard, can I see him?
So if you don't go to the chimney, you can see him through the window of the laboratory. When he showed up, he opened all the windows.
Is he within 60 feet of me?
Absolutely.
Can I cast Phantasmal Force?
You absolutely can.
The illusion that I want to take, like, if this works, I want to see this. I want him to see the side of his house like explode out, and then just hordes of pixies and bees.
Oh god, that's fucking terrifying.
Squirrels.
and squirrels. A lot of dead squirrel zombies just like coming at him.
All right, Aram, roll me your wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw for Remmer.
Sorry, it's intelligence saving throw.
Oh,
You say
better.
squirrel
Okay.
zombies?
Yeah.
Because he's killed a lot of squirrels.
That's going to be a 15 plus 7 is 22. So as this
doesn't
horde
work.
just swarms out, Remmer's just standing there. He doesn't move. His eyes don't move. There's literally bees flying through his face. I know your secrets, Pixies.
All right. That didn't work. Since that was my action, I go yeehaw and I fly to the base of the chimney.
So you're there with Aram, it's your turn.
As he arrived and announced a command word and all the windows flew open, he now looks into the house. You're not getting away, Pixies, not with that valuable cargo. And he casts Flock of Familiars and summons 3 bats, who then go screeching into the house after you.
And you all know the problem with bats. Bats echolocate. You can't turn invisible and hide from a bat.
I summon them inside the lab. They have a fly speed of 30. They would be upon them.
All right. So bats have a +0 attack bonus.
Yes.
So just make a flat roll against George and Benji.
All right. 1 bat goes for George.
Who's getting attacked twice?
Okay, so George is getting attacked twice because George is the leader. The first roll against George is going to be a 10 plus
0.
Nothing. 0. So 10 misses you. You just dodge out of the way as a bat comes soaring past you. The second one is a 10. So you dodge that one too. Oh, he's so good. And the third one comes for Benji's character. That's an 11.
Still a miss.
Oh, no, they're too skilled.
powerful combatants, these pixies.
We're the best. We're all the best. That's why they chose us.
Back at the top of the initiative, George, you had the first slot.
I'll dash up to Honeydew, and I would like to try and...
You are currently engaged with 2 bats. So you would take 2 attacks of opportunity if you did this.
I'm going to chance it.
Wow. All right. First roll is a 9. That's a miss. My second one is a 13.
You are a lucky son of a bitch.
I zip up to Dingleberry and I say, quick, hand me the bag.
Okay, I hand him the bag.
And then for the rest of my movement, I'm going to keep flying directly up.
So how close are all the bats to Benji?
Right now, there's one that's like directly on top of him. The other 2 are like 5 feet away.
Can I prepare to cast sleep for the trigger of when he leaves their range?
Yeah, then absolutely.
Yeah, so when Ben, Ben, what's your character's name again?
Honeystar.
So when Honeystar and our rescue leave, sleep.
I will disengage and then fly up.
Okay, that'll leave you right next to Matt, right next to DB. And I'm not gonna have you roll for it because bats have 1 hit point.
3 screeching bats are just flying up the chimney.
Up after them, just straight back down.
Into the embers. Do they catch fire?
I don't think that matters because they're coming up the chimney, right? So by the time you time this out, they are 15 feet in the air, which means they take a d6 of falling damage and all of them die.
Splat, splat, splat.
Oh, I didn't want to kill the things, but...
To be fair, as soon as they die, they just turn into magical dust again because they're not real.
It's a shame they had to die, but... And then I think a naughty word in my head and go, hee, and I leave.
It is Remmer's turn. So 2 of them are 45 feet in the air, and we have Honeystar, who is just at the mouth of the chimney.
So does Remmer now, has he seen them up at the top of the cabin? Has he seen them come out of the... all right, so Remmer just goes, Pixies! I have had enough! And he casts a devastating spell. So 2 of them are basically out of my range, but just as Honeystar comes up, he looks you right in the eye as his fingers curl into a tight ball, and he casts Mage Hand. Mage Hand can hold 5 pounds. Hold a 5-pound bag of flour out in one hand. See how much strength it takes.
No, Mage Hand carries 10 pounds in 5th edition.
Oh, sorry, Mage Hand gets 10 pounds, so 10 fucking pounds.
It's double the strength.
Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do is, this is a spell, so I'm gonna let you use your intelligence modifier, but you're gonna make a grapple check.
All right.
Then I'm gonna need you to make a acrobatics check to try to not get grappled by this spectral hand that you see form and just try to grab you as you fly up out of the chimney.
Good luck, Benji.
17.
I rolled a 16, but I haven't added my bonuses. So I rolled a 16 plus 7 is 23.
Damn, he got me.
Just snatches them as soon as like this invisible hand just forms around you, and you can all just see the spectral outline of it as he's struggling inside.
Get your mitts off me.
This is fucking dangerous, because you know the amount of force that sort of thing can put out. You watched him throw that squirrel.
Is he gonna throw me?
Do you have any bonus actions you're gonna pull around?
Yes, to start to drag him back toward me.
Sorry, you can use your action to control the hand. It's not a bonus action.
So I can't do that, is what you're saying?
Right.
Where is the kidnapped Pixie right now? Where is she right now?
I'm going to say that basically the 2 of them were flying together. So she was neck and neck, and you grabbed, and it's just whichever Pixie was a little bit closer. As luck would have it, Honeystar. And she got out. She's probably another 5-ish feet away by the time she realizes, turns around, and sees Honeystar there, trapped in this massive hand.
I would have threw myself in the way of it if it was like coming out of nowhere. It's about to grab him. Like
I would have got her.
Absolutely. It was coming for her, and that's why you failed the save, was you check her out of the way.
No.
She catches herself and rights herself and turns around to you, grasped in this fucking Smash Bros. Final Destination hand. That brings us to the top of the initiative order.
I will dash directly up one more time, 60 feet up, and I will say over my pearl badge,
Keep him still.
Like, this is a actual full dash for the record. It's not like you being flavorful. Cool. Yeah, so I'm going to assume that you're putting a bit of a cant on this one. Call it 100 feet directly above Remmer.
Yeah.
Am I reading your intentions right there?
Yes, you are.
Beautiful. Perfect. Matt.
Well, I've got no spells I can cast because I'm all concentrating already.
So, strictly speaking...
Okay, you got your crossbow.
Yeah.
Well, also not worrying about that. I think you have 2 sleep and dispel magic are immediate duration.
Oh.
Everything else Pixies have is
it's Connie.
concentration.
Well, I've already used sleep. Could I prepare to cast dispel magic akin to a counter spell?
Sure, I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Because you use your reaction to cast the spell, it's instantaneous.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
I'll do that. I'll prepare like a little ball of fractal rainbow magic, and I'll like be ready to hurl it like a baseball if a spell effect goes off.
Honestly, I think it would be better if Pixies had counterspell instead of dispel magic, just because then you can have like 30 of them flying around in a grove and players trying to like detect things and a bunch of Pixies.
Oh, no.
No,
that would be
take
incredible.
It away. No. It'd also be real obnoxious, and I'd think it was funny as shit.
Me too.
Oh, I'd hate that so much.
That's why it's funny.
Dude, George is smiling, and that's the dichotomy there. He's like, "That's awesome," and I'm like, "I know what George is going to do with it."
If this show gives our listeners and our players more ways to hurt their own GMs, then we have done a service.
Oh, you monsters.
Ben, we're back to you. So we're just gonna leave it as a flat DC, so we don't have to worry about it. The 23 is just gonna hold. You've got a +5. If you want to escape the grapple, you can try. Otherwise, you can take actions as per normal. Grapple actually does nothing to impede you doing stuff.
I'm gonna use my action to taunt. I'm gonna turn around in the mage hand, and I'm gonna look at him and be like, "You don't got the stones," and I'm gonna spit at him, but I don't know if it's gonna make it to him or not. I'm gonna try spit it.
Absolutely not. You're 30 feet away, and you're a pixie.
He sees me spit.
Yeah,
In disrespect.
I know the intent. Yeah, that was very disrespectful.
That is no. I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on the mage hand.
As you spit, you cast Dispel Magic.
Yeah, as I spit, I spit on the mage hand, and that's my Dispel Magic.
Pixie spit is anti-magic.
It's peppermint tobacco.
Yeah. You spit on the hand, you rub it in, and it just dissipates the spell.
I rub it because I can't use my hands. I'm gonna rub it in with my beard.
Dispel Magic is enough. Aram, Remmer, you have like your hand out. You have to do that thing where you like mimic the motion, and you immediately just feel like the resistance in your actual hand start to dissipate as your connection to the spell starts to fade, and then it just breaks. It's almost as if on your end, Honey Star, it's almost as if you're being squeezed until it squeezes hard enough to shatter itself. So you got a move action still, or you got to move still, and you have explicit instructions to stop him from going anywhere. What do you want to do?
Is Tiptoe next to me?
Tiptoe's sister is like a little ways past you. You like knocked her out of the way to take the grapple instead, but she's a little bit past.
I'm gonna give her all the stuff that I took, so the map and all that information. I'm like, you gotta give this to the big boss lady.
Okay.
Don't cry for me. And I fly towards Remy.
Oh no!
With my crossbow out and a dagger in my mouth.
Aram, you've got a pixie just dive bombing you. What do you do?
I would just kind of wind up a bit, gust of wind. As soon as they get within like 10 feet, just blast them back.
All right, I want my dispel to go off.
Oh no.
Absolutely.
Shit.
The wind like starts up and it's basically enough to get your hair moving. The hat starts to get a little loose and you're just about to reach back to stop it. And then you hear the old Sylvan words to a counter spell. Tee and a wee little giggle at the end because one of the words in the spell is naughty. But the wind, the moment it kicks up, just dies back down.
God, pixies are a pain in the ass.
Is there anything you want to do? Or
I'm just stunned that they got through. So I think
Yeah.
I would just like hold my hand out and then all of a sudden a pixie comes bursting through with a crossbow and a dagger. I'm just stumbling backwards.
all right, George, do what you must.
As I'm 100 feet above, I look at the caterpillar in the bag. I raise the hat off the caterpillar and whisper to it
One last ride, my friend.
as I give it a little kiss on its gross face.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
And when I kiss it, I cast polymorph on it and turn it into a draft horse. And as it falls, I place the hat back on it and watch it plummet.
So Aram, make that save.
Well, that's going to be a 4. Minus
Minus
2 is 2.
DB, you feel like the little hold in your head, the concentration you've been maintaining. It's like there was like a little rattling noise that you hadn't noticed anymore. It'd been so long. It just stops. And then all of a sudden there's a horse. Aram. So falling in D&D is instantaneous.
Yes. Which is dumb, but yes, it is.
Well, also, like, if you want, I can prove to you that it's really not that long, but it's
No,
not
I mean,
worth it.
I'm only 100 feet in the air, so it is, in effect, instantaneous.
I'm going to give you a dex save for half damage, but this is going to be 10d6 coming at you.
All right. Dex save for the horse.
No, sorry. The horse doesn't matter. The horse is going to die.
The horse is going to unpolymorph.
I go to 17. I should be able to, like, roll with it or something.
Okay,
Oh,
but
shit.
the horse... Okay, how many hit points does a draft horse have?
I don't know. Maybe I'll live. Who knows?
Okay, so a draft horse has 19 hit points.
Yeah, I could live.
It doesn't die.
There's a total of 26 hit points that it could go through.
Yeah, I hit the ground and I rolled. I could live through this.
The draft horse is going to take half damage. Also roll for Remmer, who is being crushed by a draft horse. George, you can pull up your 10d6 if you want, because you get to roll damage for this one. It's your attack, technically.
Remmer got a 6 plus 2 is 8.
Okay, so he's taking the full 10d6.
Okay, I got a 47.
Jesus.
Is that instant death?
Oh my God.
Half of that is 24. Or it's 23, I guess, with the rounding. But so Remmer looks up and an entire draft horse,
What the?
like, he's looking directly at this pixie, getting ready to like engage in combat. Honey Star, you are about to get on top of him. You're just direct hand-to-hand combat. Like, I'm going to take this wizard down and save my friends. And then a horse crushes him to death. The thing is, the horse hits the ground, and there is a sickening crunch as horse and people bones break.
Ooh.
And immediately there isn't a horse anymore. And then there's just a fucking pseudo-dragon who seems beat to shit and very unhappy, but is still alive.
You're free. You're free.
It has 3 hit points left.
I want to give him my good berry.
Now he's
4
a
hit
little
points left.
slightly, right, he's slightly less wounded now. A single cut above his eye healed.
Here, I feel we have made a rapport. You are free. Ride free and fly free.
I so fucking hate you. If I ever see you again, I'm gonna sting you.
Shh, I love you.
Fine, I love you too. Thanks for saving me.
I'm floating above this and I'm just looking down in shock and horror as a horse just crushed a man and turned back into a pseudo-dragon.
That's the thing, is this pseudo-dragon is also on the ground, like writhing in pain.
Yeah.
In goop,
Yeah, and then Honey Star comes up and strokes his face. I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? I can't believe this. And I start just doing expletives just in like fairy language, just madmen, all of them. And I fly down and I hand my good berry to the pseudo dragon as well. You should have some. You'll feel better.
It's actually doing all right now.
I do feel a little better. Yeah. All right. Well, I suppose we're even.
I stroke the other side of their face that Honey Star isn't stroking. You're gonna be free one day.
She's free now.
Yeah, I'm kind of free now, right? Like I'm free. Like,
well,
are you putting me back in the Jades?
No.
Okay, well then I'm good. I'm free. Great. I'll go live in the woods instead of a nice, cozy house where I got all my meals handed to me.
Turns around, it's like erupts in flames.
Right, exactly. Right. He would just look at it and sigh. He's like,
well, now I have nowhere to go.
Well, you can come with us.
Join Pearl.
Join the Pearl.
His eyebrows get a little hopeful.
Well, I'm just a dragon. I can't join Pearl. Like,
you're not just a dragon. You're a pseudo dragon.
Yeah. You ain't like
one
them
little tear.
Big shot dragons.
Yeah, I am a pseudo dragon. I suppose I belong with the other pseudo people. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big strong boy.
I think he insulted us just then, but I'm still about it.
And we get a slow like fade to black as everyone is debating basically whether it's an insult, whether we're all happy. No one is certain of whether this is ending like on good terms.
But it's ending.
But it's ending now.
Your title card comes up.
With a question mark. Yeah.
Yeah, the end?
Thank you for joining us for Pixies. For more information about us, notes for each episode, and ways you can help support the show, head over to killeverymonster.com.
If any of the ideas we've discussed on the show have sparked some of your own, tell us about it on Twitter at KEM Podcast. You'll find me at DJ Malenfant and Aram at Aram Vardian.
For ad-free episodes, early releases, bonus episodes, print-ready maps, our new audio DMs notes, and my character sheets for each encounter, head over to patreon.com/killeverymonster. You can also listen to ad-free episodes and bonus content by subscribing to the show on Apple Podcasts.
Our intro theme and many of the sound effects you hear in the show were created by Battle Bards. Check them out at battlebards.com.
This episode was produced by Aram Vartian and Dylan Malenfant. I also did the editing. Our guests were Matt Brown, Benji Napton, and George Goldfeather. You can find all three of them at youtube.com/splittheparty. And if you are anything like me and all of that information just fell right out of your head, you'll find everything you need at killeverymonster.com.
And we'll see you next time
for Kill Every Monster.
Monsters come in all shapes and sizes. They can come from anywhere, the dark corners of your hometown, a past meant to stay buried, and sometimes from within you. If you, like me, are intrigued by all the forms that monsters take, I think you'll enjoy Undertow. Hi, this is Fred Greenhalgh, creator and host of Undertow, a collection of horror podcasts that bring you under the surface and into the weird and the wicked. Each season, we start a new story set in a twisted version of the great state of Maine, where I grew up, fed by the headwaters of great horror masters like Stephen King and Rick Howdala. In Undertow, we'll be confronting ghosts from the past, battling werewolves in the present, wrangling with cursed artifacts, and through it all, doing our best not to forget our humanity. Undertow is available wherever you listen to podcasts or at realm.fm. Stay alert out there and enjoy your time in the Undertow.
This show was produced and edited by Dead Ghost Productions. Find out more about us and all the shows we make at deadghostpro.com.